So my story was, while I'm doing this here, is that I went to the first bowling alley and it was so dumb because I called ahead and they were like, "Hey, yeah, we've got a whole bunch of free stuff." I'm like, "Okay." I went in, they had like two lanes that were being used. And I was gonna say that when I walked in, this guy and his girlfriend just stared at me with these big smiles on their faces, and not like a, "Oh, I was looking in the direction you were at and you happened to walk into it." Straight up, like, watched me for enough time for where I was just looked at him the whole time, and I was like, "Hey," I waved to him like, "What's up, dude?" you know. So anyway, it was 2 lanes out of like 10 that were being used up, and I go up to the counter and I'm like, "Hey, I'm here to bowl," and the guy's like, "Oh, we don't have anything free." Actually, before he was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so annoying. This should be a vlog," but he was like, "Something I can do for you?" Like, kind of in the tone of like, "Why the hell are you here?" And I'm like, "Well, I called ahead to get a lane. I'd like to have a lane." And he's like, "No, we don't have anything free." I'm like, "But you have league." Or he's like, "We got league tonight." I'm like, "Yeah, but at 5:30, right? It's over an hour." And he's like, yeah, but they've got the lanes already oiled, so I can't give you anything." I'm like, I called ahead. And he's like, "No, there's not even anybody working the counter." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" So anyway, I went to the other bowling alley, and then as luck should have it, that one was pretty full too, but I got a lane, and I got a lane right next to this dude who was by himself, and he looked really, really into it. And I don't know how much you know about bowling, but you can do the traditional way, but you can also do it where you use a two-handed bowling without your thumb, and it gets a different kind of spin on it. And I was trying to figure out how to do that, and as luck should have it, he's doing that, and he's really, really good at it. So I was like, I was trying to just go and do this, I was trying to get this down, and he's being really cool. Like, he wasn't trying to offer me any advice. That's one of my biggest pet peeves, is when you're bowling, somebody's like, all of a sudden the coach, you don't ask, it's like, you gotta do it like this, you gotta do it like this. It's like, I don't fucking care. I would have asked you if I wanted your damn help or your opinion, But anyway, so after a game of me just completely failing at this, I go over and ask him, I'm like, "Hey, are you cool with me asking you how the hell you're doing that?" And like, I guess he had just started trying to go pro, so this was his life now, and he was way more than eager and happy to like give me a very well-paced walkthrough of how to do it. So I'm like, this is fucking cool, So I added him on Snapchat, and I haven't talked to him since, but now I guess he just pinged me, and so that's kind of cool. Do I want Rampart Aura, or do I want Counterattack? I think let's do Rampart Aura. So that was actually really fortunate. It's funny how sometimes things like that just work out. The coincidences in life, I guess. Because I was annoyed too. I was really like irrationally frustrated or pissed that it was like I called ahead. It's like, so I try to really keep being annoyed in check, but like sometimes you just are annoyed, and it's like, as long as you recognize it and don't just take it out on people, it's not a big deal. But it's like, I was really annoyed that I called ahead, and the guy was like, "Yeah, come on in," because I asked if I could reserve the lane, and he's like, "You don't need to reserve, we got plenty." Like, okay. Oops. Yeah, we've got 8 lanes that are free, but we can't let you have any of them. Whatever. But anyway, yeah, so this guy, Blake is his name. Yeah, he gave me a bunch of really cool tips on how to do this, at least enough to get started, right? And so I went and practiced it, and then he was saying that he's recorded himself with a camera to watch himself try and do it better. What the heck was I? What did I just get rid of? Did I get rid of Field Alchemy, I think? Yeah. So I was like, I'll do that too. So I went and recorded myself, and I got a good idea of what I'm doing wrong on the second try when I was doing it later, so that was cool. But yeah, that was really nice of that guy. I was pretty happy that I just happened to start trying to learn that, and I get stuck next to a dude who is going pro, so that was kind of sweet. I'm gonna give all of these guys Rampart Aura too. I guess, why can't I give it to you? Oh, we don't have the first one. Well, now you do. Now you do. Now you do. What the? Now you do. I don't know. That was my story. I guess in my head I have these big, long stories with a bunch of details that are exciting to me. Maybe they're not as exciting to anybody else.